Hey there everyone, welcome back to our 100 Adverbs in 3 Months challenge. Can you believe it? We're already on lesson number 93. That's right, you're just 7 lessons away from mastering 100 essential adverbs. You've come a long way, and I'm super proud of you. By now, you've learned so much about the nuances of English. Even if you don't understand every word in an English video or text, you can get the main idea. Imagine watching English YouTube videos like cooking tutorials or history documentaries and actually enjoying them. Trust me, learning new things in English is going to make your life even more amazing. Okay, let's jump right in with a quick quiz. Here's today's question. Which of these sentences uses the adverb partly correctly? Is it 1. The cake was partly eaten by the dog. 2. I partly have 2 cars. 3. She is partly the tallest in the class. What do you think? I'll give you a second to decide. And the correct answer is number 1. The cake was partly eaten by the dog. So what does partly mean? It means partially, or to some extent. It's used when something is true or happens only in part, not entirely. All right, let's dive into the feeling or image behind partly. Imagine a pizza with a slice missing. You can say, the pizza is partly eaten. Some of it is gone, but not all of it. Partly is used when we want to talk about something that's only true for a part of the whole. Like when you say, the project was partly successful. It means it wasn't a total success, but some parts were good. Now let's look at some common ways we use partly. Imagine you're trying to explain why something happened. You might say, the delay was partly due to the weather. Here, you're saying that the weather was one reason for the delay, but not the only reason. Another common way to use partly is when you're talking about responsibility. If you're working on a team and things go well, you could say, she is partly responsible for the success. This means she was one of the people who made the success happen, but there were others too. Let's put this into a real-life situation. Imagine you're at work, and the project didn't go as planned. You might say, the project failed partly due to lack of time. This helps explain that there were other reasons for the failure, but time was a big factor. Or imagine you're talking about a team effort, like working on a school project. You might say, our team is partly responsible for winning the competition. This shows that your team played a role in the victory, but it wasn't the only reason for the win. Now, let's talk about some words that are similar to partly. One word is partially. Partially is very close in meaning to partly, but it can sound a bit more formal or technical. For example, you might hear a doctor say, the patient is partially paralyzed. This is a more specific and formal way to say that the patient is not fully paralyzed, only in part. Another phrase is in part. You might use in part to emphasize that something is just one piece of the puzzle. For example, the plan failed in part because of poor communication. It really stresses that communication was just one of many reasons for the failure. Let's try those in sentences too. Imagine you're talking about a machine that doesn't work perfectly. You could say, the machine is partially broken. This means that not everything about the machine is broken, but some parts of it are. Now, picture yourself discussing a group project that didn't go as planned. You might say, the project failed in part due to lack of cooperation. This means that while lack of cooperation was a reason for the failure, it wasn't the only reason. These phrases all express that something is true or happened, but not entirely. Now it's your turn. I want you to write a sentence using partly in the comments below. I'll be checking them out, and I might even feature some of your sentences in the next video. Remember, practice makes perfect. All right, to sum it all up. Partly is a handy little word that helps you explain that something is only true in part. It's like saying, not all, but some. Keep practicing, and you'll be using partly like a pro in no time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more English lessons. See you in the next video.